And we're live. Happy Holy Day of Atonement weekend. I will give everyone a minute to join us. Happy Holy Day of Atonement weekend. We are so excited to celebrate the Holy Day of Atonement this weekend, and I cannot wait to start this discussion with you all. I will wait just a few more minutes. We are going live today on Facebook and Instagram. So thank you all for joining us and being a part of today's discussion. I'm so very excited for what's coming this weekend and for our discussion this evening. So let me just go ahead and jump right in. I am Attorney Kiana Mans, and greetings to you. This is a day to celebrate. We want to welcome everyone on Instagram and Facebook to this discussion. I am here at the Atonement Dispute Resolution Center in Sunnyside, Texas, and I am grateful to be the owner and manager of Mans Law Offices, PLLC, and also the Atonement and Dispute Resolution Center here in Sunnyside. We are Facebook Live today, and we are so excited to be back on Facebook. I did miss you guys. We had a beautiful series of working with attorneys and having attorneys come in to speak on all kind of legal topics last year, and so I have missed you guys. And now that I have my Instagram Live going on, hey guys, I've always wanted to say that, like the Instagram influencers. So I'm so thankful and grateful that you all are jumping on and joining us today. So I will be going back and forth trying to talk to everyone to make sure that we're all a part of the discussion. Today's discussion is the purposeful practicing of peaceful settlement of disputes. So let me say that again. That was a whole mouthful. The purpose of practicing peaceful settlement of disputes. I am a mediator. I am a licensed mediator, and so I do know the value of alternative dispute resolution practices. And so I wanted you all to join us today as we commemorate the Holy Day of Atonement, the 27th anniversary of the Million Man March. And so we wanted you all to join us on Instagram. Didn't want to leave you out, although I'm so comfortable on Facebook. Didn't want to leave out my Instagram followers today because it's a special day and a beautiful discussion regarding atonement and mediation and dispute resolution. So we're here for everybody. If you want to join us and share it, please do. Please share on Facebook so that we can have everyone gathered in today, this evening, for this discussion. I thank you all for joining us, and we're going to jump right in. The Million Man March, it was a historic occasion, a day that will go down in history, where over 2 million men gathered to atone at the call of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And he himself said it was actually at the call of God. And so how can we not Instagram? How can we not Facebook? How can we not commemorate such a beautiful event, such a beautiful day, such a beautiful time in our history as a people? And so Mans Law Office had to be a part of it. And so we wanted you all to join us to discuss atonement today, and also to talk about the atonement process and how it is a way to lead towards peaceful settlement of disputes. And so with that, what does it mean to atone? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in his lecture on that divine day, and I'm going to read his words because I'm not making anything up for myself, he explained that atonement means satisfaction, reparations for a wrong or injury. It means penance, expiation, compensation, and recompense made or done for an injury or a wrong. So atonement means we must be willing to do something in expiations of our sins. It means that we must be willing to do something in terms of the process of atonement. And so there are 8 steps. There are 8 steps, Instagram, in the process of atonement. And so we need to practice these 8 steps. In the 8 steps you see behind me, and I do believe that I can boldly say that we are the only atonement resolution center in the world. And so I am happy to be a product of the blessed Million Man March and everything that it gave to us and to our community. We have established the Atonement Center because these 8 steps, if we practice them, can lead to peace, can lead to love in our community. And so we need to practice the 8 steps of atonement because we as a people have been fractured, divided, disconnected, and hurt. And we can talk about everything that has happened to us as a people. So we know we've been destroyed, but we also have been divided. We have differences. We have been hurt by one another. And so we need to deal with us and our families and our community first. And so wanted to have this discussion so we can understand that it is a process that can lead to peaceful reconciliation between parties. It is a way and a method to get us back to perfect union with one another. On that divinely inspired day, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan also stated, our first motion then must be towards the God who created the law of evolution, of being of our being, and if our motion toward him is right and proper, then our motion toward a perfect union with each other and with the government and with the peoples of the world will be perfected. So it definitely starts with us making sure that we atone with our Creator, making sure that we are right with our God. And then it leads us to want to be right with one another. So the atonement process is a divinely ordered process. It's a way not only to get back into good graces, with one another, but this is something that Allah has instructed us to do, to get back into his mercy and to his grace. And so we want to make sure that you understand that the role of an attorney or a mediator or anyone practicing to help us reconcile, and come back together and mediate our disputes can never be better, can never be bigger than the role that Allah, God, can play in our lives. And so we want to make sure that we understand that we as a people can use the 8 steps of atonement. And myself, as a mediator, as a person who practiced mediation services and alternative dispute resolution, I can tell you that the practicing of the atonement and participating in mediation can benefit us. These methods and this tool in terms of going through the atonement process and these 8 steps, it can bring peaceful settlement of our disputes. How does it do that? And I can just tell you briefly about 4 ways, but I don't want to do all the talking. I want you, Instagram, to post me something, to put in the chat. What do you think? I want you, Facebook Live, to join this discussion about how you believe that practicing the 8 steps of atonement that you see behind me, because we have it up in our center, because we are dedicated to making sure that these types of practice tools, this environment, the method that we have been given by our servant among us, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, which came from God himself, will make sure that we come closer to him. He's making sure that we come closer to God. He's making sure that we come closer to each other. So these are steps that will get us there. These are steps that we can utilize in our everyday. I'm talking about practical application that we can do to get us back to perfect union. And so I have some ways that I think that this will benefit us in the peaceful settlement of disputes. But I also want to hear from you. So please go on and put your ideas in the chat and let me know what it is that you're thinking. And Instagram, tag me and, put the hashtag Holy Day of Atonement, Man's Law Office, because we want to hear what you have to say as well. And so I want to go into how, in this discussion, I believe that the atonement process can lead towards peaceful settlement of disputes. In my practice, I have been doing this for about 17 years now. And I can tell you, in working with us in our community, we have the ability to settle our own affairs. We really do. And so this gives us an opportunity to create an environment and a way to do that. At the Dispute Resolution Center here in Sunnyside, Texas, this is your home. We have created a space for us to atone with one another, for us to come together. And so I believe that the atonement process and going through the atonement process in a dispute resolution center or in a location where everyone is comfortable and they feel welcome, then it can actually begin to lead into our healing. And how can it do that? Because it helps us to gather together and go through these methods so that we can now start dealing with our emotions in a very safe and secure environment, which leads to addressing trauma that we all have suffered from. And so I think, first of all, that is a way that this process can lead to the peaceful settlement of disputes. My second belief is that it empowers us. It empowers us as a people to be able to understand a process that we can actually take control of, that we can actually follow the steps and complete the steps and be successful. And it also brings us back into control, where we don't have to go outside and let someone make a decision about what's happening with us. We can come together and control our differences and our disputes and any conflicts that we have. Number 3, I believe that it helps us to minimize differences. Once we have the opportunity to come together, then we can now dialogue. We can now communicate. And once we begin to communicate and dialogue, we will definitely be able to see in these steps that we can minimize many of the differences that we perceive that we have. We're very much alike. I've hurt people and I've been hurt. So no one is standing here as an angel. So we definitely can empathize and understand, in both places, from the injured to the injurer, the person who's been offended to the person who suffered from the offense. We all can understand those positions. And so I do believe that once we come together and have a place to do that, to go through these steps like we have here, then we can minimize our differences. The last one I want to share today, because I do want you to go and look at a very beautiful special clip that we have together for you. But I wanted us to have this discussion today, and I wanted to join you live because it's a special day. It's a special weekend. We're going to have a lot of events, and I join all the believers from around the nation, Christian, Jews, Muslims, who celebrate atonement and the process of atonement all around the world. And so I had to come and feel the energy and to be around you all. And then I got the confidence to even get my little Instagram followers and family on. And so I had to make sure that we were together and gathered today. So my last point I want to make in today's discussion is that it eliminates division. Yes, the atonement process and going through the 8 steps of atonement will work towards eliminating division. We as a people can no longer be divided. I'm going to say that again. We can no longer be divided. It is our time to unite. It is our time to come together. And so we have to begin to understand these steps, to value them, to use them so that we may unite, because we have so much work to do and we need to get there together. And so the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, on that divine day in 1995, said, "Look at our division. We as a people who have been fractured, divided, and destroyed because of our division now must move toward a perfect union." He's instructing us to. He's given us the way to get there. So please take time today to view a special 30-minute video clip on our Facebook channel and our YouTube channel that is an excerpt from a previous panel discussion we did last year for this topic regarding mediation and dispute resolution. You can go over right now. It will be up for your viewing and studying. And so I want to thank you all again for joining us. We had a beautiful panel on that day. We had our brother, Minister Willie Muhammad, who works in conflict resolution. We had attorney Nicole Stagg joining us that day. We had some great panelists that were with us. We had attorney Alicia Fortson also with us, who discussed how we use mediation and conflict resolution methods, procedure, processes to get us where we need to be in getting all of our disputes handled, to make sure that we're able to come together, that we're able to atone. And so again, I thank you for joining me on Facebook Live, for joining me on Instagram Live. Men's Law Office, very grateful to commemorate the Holy Day of Atonement with all of you as we celebrate the 27th anniversary of the Million Man March. Go now, if you can, to Facebook, our Facebook page, Men's Law Offices, and our YouTube channel, Men's Law Offices as well. Thank you, and we look forward to celebrating with all of the believers all this weekend. Happy Holy Day of Atonement! Happy Holy Day of Atonement, Instagram.